Greetings. This is the Grumpy Old Slan, and today I'll be rolling up the characters for my Gamma World game I'll be running at Clericon in a couple of weeks. So figured I might as well stream this one, and we'll get started right away. So basically, just for anyone listening, I'll be using the character sheet you can see here. I have one for each pre-gen. I'm also going to be using the character generation method from Gamma World Second Edition, and my with a few tweaks, one of which will be using my own mutation tables that I've linked to in the description for anyone who's interested about that. So let's just get started. So um, where's the window to roll die? No. Uh, so step one will be to roll 4d6 to determine character attributes. And I'm hoping all this is visible. Yeah, kind of. This one's not quite far. Here you go. And then we take the four best scores. So this character is going to have 16 mental strength. That's pretty good. Oh, I forgot. We need to pick whether the character is a humanoid or a pure strain human. The game will not have mutated animals as character players. So there is that. So this you have to choose. I forgot. You have to choose the character type first. So this one will be a uh, pure strain human. Actually, I'll write it out in case people aren't as familiar with the game, and we can continue rolling. I need to learn to roll within, and only 9 intelligence. So for those not in the know, mental strength is their fortitude, their ability to resist mental attacks. Here we go. 3, so 4, 5, and 6, that's 15. So 15 dexterity. And wow, this is a good roll. Physical strength will be 16. Uh, Now here's where things get interesting for pure strain humans. You keep all 4 die for the constitution and the charisma. So this is a 17 charisma. I think some people will fight for this character. What's happening with the dice today? Um, okay. Constitution will be 12, so average. Uh, I will be adding all the information here, the bonuses and stuff later on, since that's just transferring information. But basically, I use a system very close to OSEs to determine bonuses. So I expect they're going to get a dex bonus for ranged weapons and their armor class. Uh, Mental strength doesn't give bonuses as such. Their physical strength will give them a melee damage bonus and attack bonus. Charisma will certainly give reaction an advantage to reaction rolls. Now, uh, characters' hit points are based on their constitution. You have to roll as many d8s as for pure strain humans. You roll as many d8s as you have points of constitution. Now, unfortunately, I don't have 12 d8s. I only have 2 here with me, so I'll have to re-roll them a few times. So that's 8. Let me see. Can you focus, please? Okay, hold on. Let me just. This might help. Yes. So 8 for the first 2, followed by another 8. That's 16. Uh, 16 and 6 is 22. Uh, plus 8 is 30. And another 8 is 38. And I believe that's the last one. And that'll be 7. So that's 45 hit points, which does sound very high, but you do need it. You do need it in this game. Um, all characters in this game will have the same weapons. They'll have a spear, they'll have a sling, and they will have a what is essentially a dagger. Um, again, we'll fill in these details later on. I don't think watching me do these is all that interesting. But for those who want to check it out, eventually you will have the armor class here. Actually, I should mention they will have, um, it's not listed here, it's going to be here. They will be equipped with a shield. That's the only armor they're going to have. And so that gives them an armor class of 9. Gamma World uses descending armor class, and the rear armor class is 10. However, there's a dex bonus of +2, I should mention. Um, and I usually rule that the dex bonus doesn't apply for the rear AC since you don't see the attack coming. You cannot um, uh, uh, avoid it. Um, That's the whole point of rear armor class. Um, there is no force field since those characters won't have that kind of technology. So that's basically going to be it. We'll see that pure strength humans tend to be fairly quick to roll, and we will see that the humanoids are a little bit slower. I have 16 character sheets I've prepared, and I figure we'll do 6 pure strain humans, and the balance will be mutants, giving most people good choice of everything. I think I have 7 players, so we do want to have some mutants in the party. And so we start again, and we will roll 46 for our mental strength, keeping, that was a 6, so that's 11 and 14. Yeah, the original rules stated pure strain humans get to keep all 4 die for intelligence. That doesn't make sense to me, so I don't do that. 11 intelligence. Um, the reason in the gamma world why humans have a very high charisma is because they can play off the mystique of being just like the ancient ones. Um, this will be 11, and this will be 15. Oh no, that's pure strength human, so that's 14. No, that's not 14. Come on. Calculate correctly. 50, 18 charisma, and 5, 9, 10, 12 constitution again. I should have written pure strength human. We're just going to do these quickly. They're a little bit more boring, but they'll allow me to explain a few items here and there. Armor class will be 9, the rear armor class will be 10, and the unarmored armor class will be 10 as the dex gives no bonuses. And let us roll 12 times the d8s. So that's 8. 8 and 5 is 13. Oh, and 15 is 28. And 4 is 32. And another 15 is 47. And we have one last roll. This one of 6, and I said it was 47. It's 53 hit points and 12 hit dice. Again, the weapon will be a spear, a sling, and a dagger. They will be equipped with a shield. The characters will have some other equipment, but I like to give players a little bit of a choice as to what they'll carry with them. Um, okay, so that's our second character. And strange human. We're gonna have another friend. Yeah, greetings everyone. Sorry, I was focusing um on the screen where I've on the window where I've got the character sheet and totally ignored the chat. Apologies for that. Um, so we're going to have another pure strain human here, and this one is going to be having a 10 mental strength. Uh, with humanoids, mental strength allows you to do mental attacks, but with pure strain humans, you may only do this one went kind of flying far. You may only do defensive because you have no mutations to do attack with. So that's a 15 intelligence. Um, okay, this one went a bit far. So 13 dexterity and 13 physical strength. And we're going to have, yeah, another fairly charismatic pure strain human. So as I was saying, the pure strain humans, basically their presence is partly they can go on the mystique of looking like the ancient ones. And that's 12 constitution. We get a lot of 12 constitutions here. Are these dice loaded? I wonder. Uh, yeah, the flan acknowledges you. My apologies. I'm such a non-professional YouTuber. Am I a YouTuber? I don't know. I don't think so. Five and 15 is 20. Uh, and another 5 is 25. Followed by 9 will be 34, 38. And 15 is 43, 53 hit points. I think 13 gives no dex bonus, but I will double check that when I fill out the rest of the character sheet. Spear, sling, dagger, and a shield. So, third one, and yeah, yeah, professional. I don't know. I'm not a professional at anything, really. I'm an amateur dilettante. That's what I am. So, yeah, let's start rolling again. And this is going to be 11 mental strength. Characters in Gamma World tend to do way better than characters in OSC, where it's 3d6 down the line, but they do kind of need it. And to continue my thing about pure strain humans, them having a higher constitution also makes sense. They didn't mutate, but only the toughest of their ancestors survived. So it makes sense that they tend to be a fairly healthy lot. Um, but the intelligence doesn't make much sense. Them having a higher intelligence than humanoids doesn't make too much sense to me. So I've eliminated that. They already have a lot of advantages with ancient technology that humanoids, mutated humans don't have. They don't need, and intelligence is required to figure it out. But there we go. Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, not too charismatic, this one. And finally, oop, this one was a 1. This is a 15 constitution. So should see more hit points happening. So let us roll these hit points. So that's 10. 10 and 9 is 19. 19 and 12 is 31. 31 and 12 is 43. And 8 is 51. And 14 will be 65. Yeah, we're going to have a real tank here. Plus 8 is 73. Oh, sorry. I should have rolled 1 here. So there we go. 7. We were at 73. We're at 80 hit points, which is really good. I have a feeling this character is going to be a tank. Someone might choose him for the hit points, even though um, most of the abilities aren't as high as some others. Some of the other characters we've rolled up so far. Hey, come on, go there, and we have a spear. Yeah, he is a tank. The pure strain humans tend to do that because you roll a d8 for their hit points. Humanoids only get a d6, and they get that extra die for the Constitution. So that does they do tend to be tanks. Okay, let me quickly look. Yeah. Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, yeah. So another pure strain human. We've got 2 left to do. So let's start rolling. You'll see that rolling up a mutant takes a bit longer. So we're going to have 4 and 4, and 2 is 10. Uh, ooh, that's a fairly, yeah. The other guy's a tank, but this one might be convinced to go into danger relatively easily. Uh, 10 dex. Okay, so 5 and 3, 8, 12 physical strength. And 15 charisma. So I guess he's not the smartest tool in the shed, but he's a nice kind of guy. People like him. And 14 constitution, so 14 hit point. Oh, I forgot to mention the hit dice in the previous one. I'll fix that I'll fix it in post. Someone who's a noob and knows basically nothing about the system. Why would someone choose humanoid over human? Because you get mutations, which you will see shortly. I'll continue answering that question after I've counted because I'm going to lose track of the hit points otherwise. So, first 2 dice are 9. Uh, the next is 13. 9 and 13 is 22. And 9 is 31. Uh, and 10 is 41. And 3 is 44. And 1 and 9 is 53. And 10 is 63 hit points. So maybe not as tanky as the other one, but he can certainly survive being convinced by his friends to go into dangers. Do I suspect his high charisma means people may not want to uh, spear, sling. I I got ahead of myself here. The shield is not a weapon unless you're Captain America. Okay. Uh, Greetings. Yeah, you've never tried it. Are you going to be at Clericon? Although I don't think you're signed up, and I do believe my game is full. But at some point, I do want to run some Gamma World on the Old Geeks server. Um, I just need to go through. This month was just crazy busy. Oh, I'm sorry. That um, the yeah, hopefully some other time you'll be able to make it. I realize it's not exactly next door for you. But yeah, I will try to be running some Gamma World on the Old Geeks server, assuming John will let me run some science fiction, um, which I believe he will. Uh, and then you can enjoy it hopefully then. Um, I just need to get my act together a little bit, which really is not an obvious thing uh, for for me. So, one last pure strain human character. Woof. This one really will not have a lot of mental strength. So, uh, however, that's 7 and 5 is 12 intelligence. Wow, 18 dexterity. Wow. That does give you a pretty good unarmored armor class. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Mar Harkman. Uh, Only 6 physical strength. So he's very nimble, but not very strong. He will, however, have uh, 12 and 8, 20 charisma. Pure strain humans do get go up to you roll 46, you keep all 4, but your limit is 21. So they can be pretty charismatic and pretty tanky. And this will be 9, 12, 14 constitution, giving you 14 hit die. Um, he'll have a shield, so. All right, so let's start rolling up the hit dice. And that will be the hit points, I mean, and that'll be 10. This is a time when I really wish I had more d8s available. 16, 16 and 12 is 28. Great. Focus, camera. Okay, I had to last time. Okay, trust me that it's a 12. Okay, I think I really need to. I wish the focus would get done and just stay. Hello. And could somebody in chat just confirm the number of hit points we were at? Because I'm losing track with this focus problem. Yeah, I know. Let me see. Where's the app for that? Give me a good old reflex camera, I always say. Yeah. We might need to start rolling the hit points again in that case. Uh, Let me see. I know there's an app that allows me to do some controls of the I just need to find it because it kind of come on, where are you? Uh, no. Great, it's gonna force me to read it, the name of every single app till I find the stupid thing because the name I remember does not match up. is not the right one. Ah, here it is. Has it? Let me see. It's in focus now, of all things. Okay, so I lost track of how many hit points there were. It seems so did chat. Um, so there's two things I do. I can go back and watch it. Let me make a note of this. That's what I'll do. 25, yeah, 25 minutes or so into the stream, 25 minutes. I will be able to add up the first three rolls. I'm pretty sure this was a fourth roll, that I know. I just forgot the totals of the first three, so we will have a mystery character happening. Um, yeah, thank you, Mar. So, okay, 15 and and 10. Oops, flipped that one by mistake. 15 and 10 is 25, and 7 is 32, and another 6 is 38, and 8 is 46. But this is 46 plus whatever the first three rolls were. So that's going to be quite a tank too. Um, Equipped again with a spear, a sling, a dagger, and a shield. Uh, and the super high dex, yeah, gives him great armor class. So that's the last pure strain human. They're fairly straightforward to run. Um, what's going to take more time now is as we start rolling up what they call humanoids or mutated human. It's only one humanoid. So this works the same, except it's only keep the best 3 of 4 D6s for all of the abilities. They don't get anything extra like this. So we get 8, 9, 10 mental strength. We get, oh, that's pretty good. 16 intelligence. Yeah, hopefully. Well, you'll see that it's not all fun powers in Gamma World. Only 7 dexterity. So let me guess. If two players grab that really dexterous human and that really klutzy humanoid, maybe they'll be best friends. 14 physical strength. And I think this is out of screen. So 15 charisma. Finally, 9 and 2 is 11 constitution. This will go a little bit faster because we roll d6s for the humanoids. So that's the first 4 rolls is going to be 10, 12, 13 hit points, 13 hit points, and another 16 is 29. Somebody correct me if my count is wrong. I should only roll 3. I'll do them a favor. I'll take the worst one off. I should have only rolled 3 for 11's hit dice. So we were at 31 and 9 is 40. 43 hit points. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think it does. And here's where things get interesting. So armor class will be 10 uh, and 10. Basically, the shield doesn't do much for this character, so the player might choose to ditch this. We now have to roll a percentile die. Actually, no, sorry. We have to roll two d4s. The first d4 will be for the number of physical mutation the character has, and that is a 1. I don't know. How well can you see the d4s on the screen? Let me just switch windows here. Yeah, and the second d4 will be for the number of mental mutations. And that will be 3 mental mutations. So I'm just going to put placeholders here, like just a little dash. And now for the physical mutation, I will bring up my mutations table. We'll roll a percentile die. It's 49, and 49 is a heightened sense. So let me just, and let me find the descriptions so I can give it to you, and also heightened sense. Yes, the character has one superior sense. Roll a d6. So that was a 5, and the sense is heightened vision. The character's enlarged eyes let him see clearly at up to 3 kilometers, distinguishing individuals at that range. He sees into the infrared and ultraviolet spectrum. The ability is 1/3 effective in darkness. So that's pretty good. Sight, clearly up to 3 kilometer distance. See into the infrared and UV. I'll make this on a second line. Ultraviolet spectrum. We have space for the physical mutation. Okay. So that's why you might want to choose this character. One little bonus of seeing ultraviolet is that sometimes high radiation zones will emit ultraviolet. Similarly, high heat zones will emit infrared. So you can sometimes, and obviously, people playing D&D will be familiar with infravision from the various characters that have it. So. Yeah, bug eyes, just what you wanted. Okay, let's roll for the mental mutate. Oh, wait, I screwed this up because you're supposed to add the mental strength. So it wasn't. Ah, I like this too much though. I should have added 10. That's what I forgot to do. And it should have been multiple body parts. Okay, I'm gonna let chat choose. So we can have multiple body parts, which is, let me go read that description. Yeah. Character grows 1d4 extra appendages of GM's choice. You want the bug eyes? Okay, so we'll keep them for now, but let us remember. And for physical mutation, it's constitution we need to add. So let's not forget to add 11 to whatever we roll. The reason for this is that in the chart, the lowest numbers are for defective, basically defects, harmful mutations. So the greater your constitution is, the fewer the chances of you having something harmful is. And yeah, in this case, we really want it because 16 would have given us, uh, yeah, uh, periodic amnesia. However, we're adding our mental strength of 10. So that's 16 plus 10 is 26. And that gives us intuition. Intuition. Where's intuition? Yeah, the character is subconsciously aware of the intentions of those around him, including any foes. Add 3 per die to the damage he does in physical combat and add 1 to his hit point die roll. Character with this mutation cannot be surprised. So that's pretty good. Intuition. Now, what I often do for campaign play is actually roll some additional dice. So it wouldn't be, as in the description here, 3 per die to the damage, but it would be, I'd roll maybe a d4, and if you rolled a 1, it would be 1 per die added to the damage. And that means not everybody has the same powers, the same mutations. So, but we will add this. Okay. Uh, Character is aware of others' intentions, uh, cannot be surprised. Um, Although, to me, as a game master, I will say you cannot be surprised by others. You can be surprised by just, something unexpectedly falling, or other not, things that are not, from living creatures that you can relate to. I would say you could be surprised by a robot since the intuition will not the cues you rely on uh, won't work here. Exactly, a trap doesn't have intention. A robot may have intention, but it won't convey this in any way. There's no body language to a robot. Each die +1 to hit. Okay, this doesn't all fit, so let's just put this on the next line. This is just a bit of a reminder for people. I will print out the the um, the descriptions of the mutations for each player. Yeah, yeah, things don't care. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting, Mar Hawkman. Okay, so we have another mental mutation to roll. Well, 2 more actually. So let's do this, and that is 17. 17 plus 10 is 27, which again gives us intuition. If I was running a campaign, we might strengthen this, but I will give a re-roll to have a different mutation happening here. We have 27 plus 10 is 37. This gives us repelling force. Come on. Let me just write that down. Repelling force. Yeah, but plot traps shouldn't even exist if you ask me. Um, Repelling force. So I have to scroll down to the right page. Repelling force. The character can will a force field 2 meters in diameter to surround him or herself. Everyone inside the field of is safe from all items of less than a meter-ton mass that strike the field. Items flying at the field bounce off. If an object weighing 1 metric ton. Okay, that's weird. It's just I'm reading off a PDF and it's a little bit odd. So I read meter instead of metric because there's okay. If an object weighing 1 metric ton or more strikes the field is immediately dispersed and everyone inside makes the constitution check. Those that fail will die. Uh, Greetings, Tori. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's Thanksgiving here in Canada, so we have the day off. That's why I can do this in the afternoon. Um, so there we go. Let me see. Can generate a 2 meter in diameter. 2 meters in diameters is not a lot. So whoever else is in the field with you is hugging you pretty tightly. Uh, Force field. Uh, Small objects bounce off unless more than 1 metric ton. Um, which case field. How did they put it? The field. Oh yeah, and I forgot. Those inside the field can move around but can't exit or attack out of the field. So that's in. Uh, yeah. Field dispersed. Uh, and characters must make a con save or die. This is, yeah, cheerful. Um, well, it's about 2 yards, but that's the diameter. So if your character is, a meter 80 is a tall person. I think a meter 75 is like, yeah. Um, So think of 2 yards in diameter. So, an average person is 5 feet. That's almost 2 yards as far as the height is concerned. And then you have about a yard around you. Um, exactly. Um, so we get to roll another percentile die. Ah, again, what's wrong with this dice? Okay, that's it. I'm taking another set of percentile die. Yeah. This is 91 plus 10 is 101. And it tells us to, okay, um, it tells us to pick any good mutation. Now, I don't want to have the players pick a mutation at the convention. I'm going to ask chat what kind of fun mental power you think could be had, and I'll try and match what there is, and I can read out the names of the mutations too, so we can pick something. I would obviously not pick a defect. I compare objects as opposed to converting. Minor telekinesis. Yeah, that could be fun. Or crushing ennui. Am I that boring? Yeah, there is some telekinetic powers. Let us see. Oh yeah, because there's telekinesis, but also telekinetic arm, which I will read the description of because that's a kind of weirdly fun one. The telekinetic arm is the character causes a shimmering arm of force to materialize anywhere within range. The range is 18 meters, which is fairly good distance. The arm has a physical strength equal to the character's mental strength, and he may will it to move within range at a rate of 6 meters per action turn. The arm can do anything an appendage attached to its creator could do, i.e., hold a weapon, grab someone, etc. It can't be damaged but will disappear if character is killed or knocked unconscious, or if it is moved out of the user's field of vision. So, a gadget. I don't think there's a gadget copter as a mutation there. Uh, Actually, Doc Ock tentacles, those would be extra appendages, I think. Because while it says you have more than one, you have extra appendages, yeah, but the TK arm sounds fun. Let's go with the TK arm. I kind of like it and has some limitations. Kinetic arm, uh, character creates a, how did they put it? Telekinetic, blah, blah. Arm of force. Arm of force. Uh, yeah, it could look like a tentacle. Uh, we'll have to see. I wonder if any of the players who are going to be at the game will have seen this stream and used that kind of stuff. So, um, uh, arm has a PS of 10, uh, and can move up to 6 meters per action turn. Action turns are kind of like the rounds in Gamma World. You have the action turn, which is 6 seconds. It's a round. Um, you laugh, but there is a mutation like that, Dungeon Minister. There is a mutation allowing you to have your own kind of like be a big skunk. Where is it? Let me find it so I could read that. Uh, I'm not finding it now. Okay, let's just try and focus, Slan. You have stuff to do. Yeah, skunk spray. Yeah, there is a mutation allowing you something like that. Um, yeah, just remember the 5-3-1 rule for conventions, right? Never less than 5 hours of sleep, never less than 2 good proper meals a day, and never less than 1 shower or bath per day. Yeah. Actually, they are in a lot of things. I find like the stinking cloud and similar spells in D&D are also a pain. Um, okay. Let me just finish typing up that description here. His slash her own. So the out of sight limitation is interesting because it is possible to, yeah. This is for Gamma World TN Tori. And which is happening in 2 weeks in the Toronto area. You still have time to buy yourself a plane ticket if you want. We'd love to see you. Um, and yeah, exactly. We don't want to have Saxus in here. Uh, yeah. Uh, Yeah. And the dungeon minister really should say Clericon is the convention he's going to be running in 2 weeks because it's all his fault indeed. And the character still has his spear, his sling. I say his, but it could be a her, a dagger, and equipped with a shield. Um, so, wait, what's this 10 doing there? So this is the yeah. Well, yes, you're not the only one for a lot of stuff, so I understand. But it would be so great if one year you could make it. I think we'd love to see you in person. And I do realize it's not exactly next door for you. So, let us roll. As I said, the humanoids take a lot longer to roll because of the mutations. And this one will have a 13 mental strength. 11 intelligence. Yeah, I'm 14 dex, so that's a pretty good dexterity. For seven physical strength. Let's hope he this character has some good mutations to make up for this. Although 16 charisma, that's pretty good for a humanoid. One of the things that happens is some humanoids have and 12 constitution. So some humanoids have, like the previous one, uh, while they might have very big eyes, they could pass if they put like sunglasses on or something for a regular human, um, which in some scenarios is important. Um, Similarly, some mutations don't have any visible effects, though some people do like to give their mutants weird colors or appearances and stuff. So we'll roll for the hit points, 12d6s, and that will be 10 and 2 is 12. Uh, and that was a 2, so that's 22. 22 and 6 is 28, 30, 31 hit points. So, yeah, which for those not familiar might sound like a lot, but it's not. Um, it should be 9. Okay, and spear, sling, dagger, and the shield. Now's the time to roll the d4s for the physical mutation. That's a 1. And for the mental, it's a 3. Hmm. I sense a pattern here. Uh, yes, it's organized by the dungeon minister, Tori. Uh, it's one of the reasons for the name, because of course we had to make a dad joke out of it when he first talked about it. Um, so let's roll for, okay, we said, let's just put those placeholders so we remember. And 3 mental mutations. Start with the physical one. We will roll 38. We add the constitution, which is 12, so that's 50. 50 for the physical mutation is the heightened sense again. Uh, so another one with heightened sense. If they're from the same area, that might make sense. They're family related. Let's see what they have. We need to roll a d6 to determine what the sense is. And it's a 3, which gives us a heightened taste. Character is hypersensitive to variations in food and instantly knows by taste if something is safe to eat. And ooh, that's a bit long. By something is safe to eat or drink. So that is yeah. Greetings, Nosorian. Oh yeah, well I should really be mentioning too that Clericon does have some virtual online games happening at the same time for those people who can't make it. So that's on the Clericon Discord. I'm sure if you go to Dungeon Minister's channel, you'll see links to it. I don't have one handy to put in the chat, unfortunately. All right. Hope you had a good lunch, Tori, and thank you for dropping by. And okay, Morkboard is going on. So yeah, heightened taste doesn't sound great, but certainly if you're foraging for food, knowing if something's safe to eat is good. Um, So let us roll for the mental mutations now. And we rolled a 33, to which we have to add 13 of mental strength, so that's 46. Where is my mental mutation? 46 is the mental blast. This is the ever so popular uh, mutation. In fact, I'm pretty darn sure that the psionic ability in D&D is either inspired or the inspiration for this. Uh, the character may direct a blast of psychic energy at a target in range, causing mental damage. This is where people having good mental strength is good because, uh, and I just realized I can copy paste the text. Uh, so I don't have to target. And I'm just going to rewrite within 15 meters. Uh, and it's 3d6 mental damage. Uh, may be used every 30 seconds. So that sounds fast, but if you think that an action turn is 6 seconds, that means if you use it once in combat, you've got to wait 4 action turns. Yeah, exactly. Um, I mean, I'm curious to know where the idea of the mental blast came from. Um, there is a lot of fiction where people have a some sort of mental power that, you know, overpowers others. Maybe that's where it's from. I'm not sure when those words were first used in what book or so that's 39 plus 13 is 49, 52. 52 is the mental control of the body. Mental control of the body. The character's body can override physical pain and alter itself internally to halt blood loss and combat heat and cold. Character immediately recovers 2d4 plus 6 hit points of damage when he uses this power. In addition, in any situation involving overwhelming danger, the player's discretion. So, yeah, they're an old staple, but I'm always curious as to where it first happened, where, what story originated it. Or if no story originated, it's just several stories, and then somebody, uh, where somebody has, say, a psionic bolt, and but doesn't call it that, and then somebody later on uses the term to describe the same thing. So, but back to yeah. Those are fast psionic bolts. Okay, so character immediately recovers 2d4 plus 6 hit points of damage when he uses this power. In addition, in any situation involving overwhelming danger at the player's discretion, his physical strength and dexterity are both increased by 3 to a maximum of 21, and his speed is doubled for 1d6 minutes. Yeah, exactly. I've seen it in very old stories too. So let me just try and copy this text. Actually, if I manage to copy most of the text in on the character sheet, it'll save me the hassle of having to print it all out on a separate sheet. We will see. Yeah. Yeah, so you were asking earlier why people would pick pure strain a humanoid over the pure strain human. And this is why, because you get like some fun powers happening. Come on. These forms in Acrobat PDFs, they're always a pain. Okay, we can shorten this a bit. Hit points. It is +8. Oh no, +6. So clearly the copy paste from this PDF isn't the best. Um, yeah, so this is a conscious mutation, uh, and you can only use it once per week. So yeah, clearly this puts a lot of strain on the body and on the characters. Um, uh, and it will last 1d10 minutes. So not the healing, not the recovery of damage, but um, uh, the increase in physical strength, dexterity, and speed. Yeah, no, the problem is, yeah, the problem is that there's only one line, so it's very hard to move stuff, if I want to see what's on the second line, for example. Um, anyway, let's roll for the third mutation. And that's an 82 plus 13 is 85. 85 is uh, yeah, 85 is the will force. I think this character is, yeah. The character can exert his will to double the effects of any mutation used while this power is in effect. Instead of being used to enhance other powers, it can be used to add 1 to die rolls when the character tries to hit an enemy. Um, and this will last 1d4 minutes. So that's another fairly useful one. I'll put this at the bottom here. Will force. So I will say I'll remove the blood loss, but since it doesn't quite matter too much exactly what we know, it can alter itself internally uh, to combat heat and cold. Uh, when used, character immediately recovers. We don't need to take damage. Yeah, so you notice that it says that it's at the player's discretion. This is because some powers will kick in at the game master's discretion because they're unconscious on the part of the character, whereas this is a conscious power. I would like to at least have one line for the willpower. Let's see, will force, sorry, not willpower. Yeah, to, to hit. I think saying, yeah, we don't need this when the character tries to attack. We can just say it's +1 to hit die rolls. Uh, so yeah, and the The PDF is also from a scan, so every once in a while the problem is that for example, it interpreted a 6 as a B because the OCR isn't perfect. Wow. Okay. Character can exert his will to double the effect of any mutation used. Okay, we can just say, well, it's in use and the duration is 1d4. Uh, we'll just put it here, duration 1d4. In fact, if we say duration 1e10, that will allow us to remove some text here. Not enough to fit everything. I'll figure this out later. Um, Formatting is not what you guys are here for. So that's another mutant character. And we will start with a third one. As you see, it's a lot slower to roll up these characters, um, simply because there's more to get done. Um, let's see, we get rid of the one that gives us 14 mental strength. That's what we want because like the mental blast is not automatic because characters do get to defend. Um, 11 intelligence. Oh, that's pretty good. 15 dexterity. 12 physical strength. And this will be 8 charisma. Ooh, that's not too good. That's only 9 constitution. So 9 hit die. And let's roll their hit points. And that's 12. 27 and 28 hit points. So there you see these are, yeah, that's a low hit point character. Um, oh no, its armor class will be 7, I believe, because 15 dex will give them spear, fling, dagger, and shield. And we will now roll 1d4 for the mental mutations, physical mutations, and that's a 4, and 1 for the mental mutations, and that's a 1. So let us put in some 2, 3, 4, and 1 mental mutation. Let's call up the right window and roll up. And that's a 69 plus 9 constitution, because it's a physical mutation. 69 and 9 is 78. 78 is, ooh, wings or gas bags. So let us go to that. Yeah, the character's working wings carry him through the air at 100 meters per action turn at an altitude of 800 meters. He can carry up to twice his physical strength while airborne. Those massing those massing more than 60 kilograms cannot fly, but can make wing-assisted leaps of up to 30 meters without damage. The reason it's wings slash gas bags is because plants with this mutation don't develop wings. Instead, they have gas bags that support them and they drift about blown by the wind. So, yeah, interesting. So that's wings. So clearly, this character will not look human. Um, Okay, we'll have to determine how much the character weighs in this case. Um, but before we do that, let's see what the other mutations are because they might affect the weight of the character. No, we're getting the wings. We don't have a choice. The gas bags is for plants, and our characters, I forgot to mention this, is a mutated human, so humanoid. Um, Let us roll again, and that's 63 plus 9 is 72. 72 is, ooh, photosynthetic skin. No, we're not going to make mutant plants for players. It's going to be humans and humanoids only in this game. Um, and I think I usually play what I call version 1.5 because it's a mix of Gamma World 1 and 2. And those did not allow they only allowed for players to have pure strain humans, humanoids, or mutated animals. Um, the later versions allowed for mutated plants, I believe, and also for, I believe, either robots or android characters, um, which I don't like as much. It kind of defeats the purpose to have a robotic character. Um, yeah, or he could be purple like a cyanobacteria. But yeah, green or purple is your choice, essentially, as far as I know. The character produces his food by absorbing nutrients from earth and atmosphere and using sunlight for equivalent to make them into energy and tissue. He heals 3, not 1 point of damage per day. In darkness, he moves at 50% of normal speed and has a reaction time twice the norm for his species. He suffers 1d6 extra damage when attacked with weapons employing heat or cold. So this is not all beneficial. So there's often uh, uh, and so here we see a mutation that has some benefits, but also some problems come with it. Exactly. Uh, okay, we don't need to say wing assisted leaps, and we don't need to. We're going to be in Canada. People will know what a kg is, uh, or an m for meter. Okay. Uh, they can leap up to 30 meters without damage. There we go. Photosynthetic skin. And we have 2 more physical mutations to do, and then the mental one. Uh, okay. Uh, uh, extra 1d6 damage from heat or cold. So yeah. Uh, Greetings, Robert. How's it going? And we're now to the next mutation, and that's 77 plus 9 is 86. 86 in the table will be shape change. Okay, that's going to be interesting. I have a feeling this character is going to get taken up pretty quickly. Shape change. The character can assume the shape of any mammal, insect, or reptile, but won't have the same mutational powers as the beast whose form he takes. So if you take on the shape of some mutated animal, you don't get their mutations. Can run, swim, fly, etc. in the same manner, though it takes 10 seconds of concentration to change shape, and the shape lasts for 1 hour or until the character decides to resume his or her own shape. Can be used once per day and will, yeah. Uh, oop, uh, uh, I don't know why they mentioned mammal, insect, or reptile and not just say animal. Uh, uh, yeah, I said move like animal, but does not have any mutant powers, um, or does not gain any mutant powers. Lasts up to 1 hour. Yeah, 10 seconds concentration. Okay. And just about game time here, so I must go. All right, have a good game. And I'll see you in 2 weeks, Dungeon Ministers. If I don't see you before somewhere online. Let us go for another character, another mutation here. I just rolled 30 plus 9 is 39. 39 is actual metamorphosis. I'm not sure how it seems to be similar just by the name to the shape change. Where is it? Actual metamorphosis. The character can change himself into any living entity he is touching. He gains all attributes and abilities, including mutations of the entity into which he changes. Yes, happy Thanksgiving, Father. The change lasts until the character resumes his natural forms or adopts that of another entity. The character is touching, or any other entity the character is touching, or until the character, pardon me, reshapes energy. Hmm. When hit by any type of energy weapon, such as a laser, the character can automatically absorb and reshape the energy from that weapon, shooting it from his body in any direction as if he were firing a laser of the same power. Upon doing so, the character immediately resumes his normal shape. Reshaping energy is automatic, it isn't within the character's control. He can't decide not to use the power. This mutation can't be used to transform oneself into an inorganic object or entity like a robot. Yeah, yeah, that's what it seems to do. Although shape change does allow you, like if you transform into a bird, it does state you can then fly. You can move like whatever animal you shape change. What you don't gain is their mutant powers. So if an animal has a power to generate heat, you don't get to generate heat. If they have a power of accelerated healing, you don't get that. You just get the shape. And if they have wings and they can fly, you can then fly. This seems to be you can actually transform into a specific person if you're touching them. And I think I'm gonna, not to be mean, but since it sort of overlaps with shape change, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just uh, say that their shape change is a little bit uh, powered up. I think it's based on your imagination because they don't give any limitations. And same with the shape change. It says it only needs 10 seconds of concentration. And shape change. And it is a physical mutation. So I would assume it is some sort of biomimicry or actually being able to change your body around. Um, I wonder where the whole energy reshaping comes from. It seems very specific for, to add that to the actual metamorphosis power. So I think I will print that description and the shape change. What I'll probably do is say that if the character is touching a particular person, they can change into that specific person. But if they otherwise just shape change, normally they shape change into an animal. They can't change shape change into another person. Yes, indeed it does. The thing is that in Gamma World you have the physical mutations and you have the mental mutations, and uh, I don't know offhand if there is, but if there was a mental mutation that allowed you to uh, appear like someone else, that would be based on your mental powers playing with other people's brains to generate an illusion. But if you have a physical power of shape changing or metamorphosis, that's your actual physical body changing. It does say in Metamorphosis that you can't transform into an inorganic object like a robot. And that would also include a a humanoid, not a humanoid, an android. And androids are robots in Gamma World that look like humans. So perhaps if a character has the actual metamorphosis power, touches a an android and tries to change into it and fails, that would indicate that the android is not a human. Yes, that's the yeah, that is the whereas, yeah, metamorphosis allows you to gain the abilities, including mutations of the entity into which you change. So clearly, shape. This is confusing if you play D&D because in D&D, polymorph is the one that gives you the shape but not the powers, and shape change, the spell, which is ninth level if I recall, gives you the powers of whatever you shape change into. So what I will do is make it so it doesn't overlap, and to a certain extent will um, they will complement each other. So I will say that you can shape change into another human, even if you're not touching them, though you wouldn't gain their powers. Um, but I will also, I think, say that the energy reshaping will affect both those mutations. I think they kind of like complement each other. They're similar enough that we can roll them maybe into one, but I'll need to figure it out, all the detail. But I think that's what we're going to go with. That without touching a particular creature, they can just shape change into any animal, gaining their not gaining any powers, but being able to move like the animal for up to an hour. But if they touch a particular animal or person, they can metamorphose into that animal or person and gain the powers. But you need to touch to gain the powers. And I think the reshaping of energy will cause both to have the character go back to his original form. What's interesting is that he could hide his wings using this, or or his green skin. But if he does hide his his skin, then perhaps he doesn't gain the advantage of the photosynthesis. So he heals more slowly. Um, that's what it seems because they're two different methods of different rules. Yeah, well, there's two different mutations and they seem to work differently. Uh, the actual metamorphosis says you have to touch whatever you're changing to, but you gain everything. Uh, the shape change allows you to just change into an animal. They specify mammal, insect, or reptile, which I just say is an animal. I don't see why amphibians or fish should be excluded. Um, Especially if insects are included, so it's not just vertebrates. Um, but yeah. And I tend to rule for something like the shape change that your overall mass has to remain the same. Since you can't transform into like a 2-inch long bug because the mass doesn't disappear. So we now have a mental mutation left to roll. And that is 41 plus a mental strength of 14 is 55. 55, 55 is the mental control of the body, which actually kind of fits this character very well, I think. Because if you can shape change and metamorphose, having mental control of your body seems to make perfect sense to me. Greetings, John. How are you? Mental control of body. There we go. Duration 1d 10 minutes. So I'm rolling up the characters for my Gamma World game. Um, and there we go. Greetings, Andy. I did not see you there before. Okay, we can leave the minutes there. So yeah, they also have the mental control of body, which I think thematically works for this character. Um, and yeah, indeed, indeed. Uh, and we'll roll up our next character. So I've done the pure strain humans for all the newcomers. Um, those are much quicker to roll since you just roll the ability scores and the hit points. You don't have to roll for mutations. Uh, and we have 15 mental strength. That's pretty good, actually. You want a high mental strength for a humanoid. It helps with the mental powers if you have them. And as 13 intelligence, yeah, the rule for the newcomers is you roll 46, take the best three. Um, you kind of need it in Gamma World, and that's 11 dexterity. However, pure strain humans get to keep the all four dice for Constitution and Charisma. Uh, 7 physical strength and 11 charisma and Constitution. Constitution is really the big one in Gamma World because that was a 4. So that's a 16 Constitution. So that's going to be pretty tough mutant because Constitution determines your hit die. Uh, and so let's roll the hit points. That's 10 and 15. 15, 20, 25, 29, 32, 30, 33, 34, 35, 41, that was a 6, and 43, and 4 more, and that'll be 43, 49, 51, 53, 58 hit points, which, again, for those used to D&D sounds like a lot of hit points, but it really isn't. Um, Traditional weapons, the primitive weapons that the characters will start with, they all start with a spear, a sling, and a dagger. Pretty much do the same damage as in D&D, but the some of the mutations and some of the technological weapons do way more damage, and you only heal 1 hit point per day, just like D&D. So now let's see how many physical mutations we get, and that's a 3 and 2 mental mutations. Just going to put placeholders to not forget. We now roll a percentile die, and that's a 38, to which I will add the Constitution, which brings me to 54. 54 is heightened precision, is my first physical mutation. Let me read the description quickly. Heightened precision. The character instantly finds any weakness in structures, objects, or opponents. The damage he does is increased by 2d6 per attack. He adds 2 to his hit die when he adds 2 to his die when figuring out artifacts. So, a walking stick with a rock added. Uh, Not sure what you're talking about there, Mar Hawkman. Uh, the spear and the sling. Let's see. I'm just gonna. So he doesn't have a lot of physical strength, but he will certainly do a lot of extra damage when he manages to hit. Um, okay, let us roll for the next mutation. And that's a 40. 40 plus 16 is 56. And we get a modified body part. It's probably going to be here. And the modified body part is going to, let's see what it says. One of the character's appendages or organs at the GM's choice of which grows or shrinks, becomes stronger or weaker, or generally benefits from a major modification chosen by the player. I see. So the GM, yeah. So it's either external or internal. It either grows or shrinks, but it's beneficial. So having a pumpkin head might, the mighty spleen. Yeah. What does that give you? Because you could say you have like an improved liver, so you can't get drunk. Um, so what will it be? What body part or organ will grow or shrink? Okay, so the GM chooses the organ or appendage, but the player decides if it grows or shrinks, so that becomes beneficial, is how I read this. So what organ or appendage are we gonna grow or shrink for this mutant? This is where the mutants start to look kind of funny. Uh, So what's gonna, so I'm waiting for chat to answer here. What are we going to, is it gonna be the spleen? Oh yeah, ears. Ears could be fun. Large ears, so you improve your hearing too. Uh, improved hearing. Okay, and I will say reduced chance of surprise. Um, since it's likely they would hear. Yeah. Intellectual quandary, unfortunately, it's not an extra appendage, it's a modified one. So, but I think the ears, we'll go with the ears. Yes, sorry, I missed that one. I haven't seen Mystery Men in, oh my God, since it came, since I haven't done it, read any of it like in forever. So I think it was the 90s. So, and I wasn't very much, I only read a few, a little bit here and there, so I'm not as familiar with it as I probably should be. But there we go. Uh, such as things. And we'll roll for another one. And we have 53 plus the usual 16 constitution gives us 69. We have electrical generation. Uh, Let me see, where's my table? Electrical generation. Where's the description? Description, electrical generation. Here it is. This mutation works consciously in humanoids and unconsciously in plants. So it's conscious mutation. Those touched by a humanoid or mutated animal using this power or touching a plant with this power suffer 3d6 damage from electric shock. Those, okay, let's remove the touching a plant since it doesn't apply. And yeah, maybe used once per 10 seconds. So yeah, 10 seconds being the action turn um, in Gamma World. Mm, yeah, I missed it. Yes, yes, I know. Yeah, well, we could have made it a third leg, but I was supposed to run a family-friendly game. This is Clericon being run by the Dungeon Minister, and one of his kids is in my game. I do want to be welcomed again next year. So yeah, and this is for the mental mutation. We rolled a 58, to which we add 15. That's 73. 73 is telekinesis, which I probably mispronounced. It's the kind of word I will mispronounce. Uh, the character can mentally lift objects other than himself into the air and move them about. Any attempt to lift a living creature or another sentient entity requires a mental attack. A character can use this power a number of times per day equal to his mental strength. He may lift 5 times his mental strength in kilograms. So that's a pretty useful mutation there. Lots of stuff can be done with it. Let's just copy that text. Okay, and the other mental mutation shall be, oop, that went a bit far. 20 plus 15 is 35. 35 is, oh, that's an untainted pure mind should be preserved. Yeah, indeed. Genius capability. Let us read what this says. Because that character is, smart, but not extremely smart. So let's see what genius capability. The character's mind is particularly acute when dealing with information in any one of 4 possible areas. Roll a d4. Okay, and that's a 1, if you can see it. And the character is a military genius. Add 4 to the die roll when the character is trying to hit a target in combat. Add 1 to each die of damage he does to the target. So that's pretty good. Um, I'd say that the character should also be able to read the uh, tactical situation. So he'll be able to see if an enemy is well entrenched or anything like that. No, our Andy, our minds are totally tainted. I agree, but I believe it is which one of is but the dungeon minister's kid. I think it is. I forget which one of the. It's one of the 2 older ones. I will assume his mind is still untainted, and I would like his dad to not be angry with me. Okay. Time is it? Yeah. So, time for another humanoid character. Oop, no need to put character down. I think after this, I'm going to call the stream in part because I rely on daylight to light up the scene. So that is 14 mental strength. Wow, 17 intelligence. So we have a smart guy here with 10 dexterity. Uh, and 11 physical strength. This is 11 charisma. And 15 constitution. So fairly healthy. Let's quickly roll the hit points. So that's 15. 15 and 20, 30. 44. And lastly, only 3 dice. Bring us to 15. And 44 and 14 is 58. So we have a pretty tough character here. Armor class of 9, 10, and 10. Spear, sling, dagger, shield. Okay, let us roll for physical mutations, and that's a 3. And mental mutations is 2. So let's see what we can get. Okay. That's 22 plus 15 constitution is 37. Ooh, we have our first, wait, 20, yeah, 37. We have a poor dual brain, and this is a defect. It's our first mutant with a defective mutation. Let me just read this. The character's second brain, so they have a second brain, handicaps his primary brain. Reaction time is slowed by 25%, and there's a 10% chance when the character first awakens that the defective brain has taken over his body while he was asleep. The defective brain will retain control for 1d12 hours, during which the character will be subject to fits of irrationality as if he had the mutation insanity. The character will have a different voice and personality depending which brain is in control. So that could be very interesting from a role-playing point of view. I'm just going to put this down like that for now, and I will give all the details, including the insanity mutation details, to the player so that they know what to do with it. Rolling a second mutation. We have a 32 plus 15 constitution is 47. I think we had a 47. Did we have a 40? No. 47 is a heightened physical attribute. What does that do? Heightened physical attribute. The character has heightened capabilities in one of 3 possible areas. Roll 1d4 to determine which attributes benefits. So, rolling a d4, we get a 3. This is a heightened strength. The character's physical strength is increased by 1d6. He can lift 6 times his physical strength and can carry 4 times his physical strength while marching without being heavily burdened. So, we will roll a d6. And that was a 4. And now the physical strength goes from 11 to 15. We can remove that part of the description since it's done. He can lift 6 times his physical strength, so he can lift 60 kilos and carry, 6 times 15, no, 90 kilos, and he can carry 60 kilos without being heavily burdened. 60 kilos is quite a bit. It's what an average person will weigh. So, okay, roll up the next mutation. And it is a 74 plus 15 is 94. Ah, this is one that some of the people here will love, I'm sure. Gas generation. The character can give off a type of gas determined by a d6 die roll. Once a type of gas is rolled, the character always gives off that type. So let us roll a d6. And that was a 5. And the gas causes blindness lasting 1d8 hours. So the character gives us a gas that causes blindness for 1d8 hours. So yeah, clearly you want to be careful about using this since the GM rolls a 3d6 to determine the gas's intensity level. So in Gamma World, you have intensity levels for poisons and radiation. They go from 3 to 18, and it goes against the Constitution. So we will roll, and it is a intensity 10 and intensity 10 gas that causes blindness for 3. So if somebody has a high enough constitution or succeeds in a roll uh, based on their constitution, they might avoid the effects of the gas. But if they fail that roll or their constitution is too low, then they are blinded for that amount of time. Uh, yeah, so far kind of like the Hawk indeed, except for the gas generation. Indeed, it's actually, yeah, Vindaloo fight. Indeed. Um, yeah. Uh, yeah, so the blindness gas takes effect when any result except no effect is rolled on the poison matrix. Um, the user isn't affected by his own gas. All others within range, including the user's friends, are affected. So clearly, to be used carefully. Yeah. And one other physical mutation. It, I rolled a 94 plus 15 is 109. 109 is, I believe, yeah, you get to roll an extra mutation. So we roll again for this one, and then we roll another time. So what do we have? Oh no, this may not be the best. 04 plus 15 is 19, and 19 is anti-charisma. All persons within range feel disgust at the physical appearance and personal habits of the character. Subtract 5 from all reaction die rolls when the character or his party is the object of a reaction check. Entities with intelligence above 18 are immune to the unconscious effects of this mutation. Those that have lived or closely worked with others suffering from this mutation will be able to overcome their revulsion within 1d4 days of contact with the person. Others will never entirely adjust to the mutation of this particular character. Yeah, yeah. Greetings, Bear. So, anti-charisma -5 on all reaction rolls. Oop, not tolls. Rolls. And those with intelligence 18 or above are immune. Okay. Yeah. And let's roll another one. And that one is 80 plus 15 is 95. 95 is heat generation. Heat generation. The character can make extreme heat radiate from hands or other appendages. This heat may be used once per action turn to attack others or ignite flammable material the character is touching. The character can't be harmed using this power. So let's just copy this, and it will cause 1d6 in damage. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I will give a more complete, but the damage caused is 4d6. So you can really hurt somebody. That's where you see you think 58 hit points is bad, but you can generate quite a bit of damage even as a starting character. So we're gonna roll for the mental mutations now. And that's a 67 plus 14 is 81. 81 is teleportation. Teleportation. The character may teleport himself only to any other place within range. The range is 30 kilometers. However, if he hasn't spent at least 8 hours at the destination point, memorizing it, he takes 8d6 damage upon arrival. This penalty doesn't apply to places he can see from his starting point. Any energy field, such as a force field or a repulsion field, stops teleportation from occurring. So, uh, and you can use it once per hour. I will just yeah, but that's more than 30 kilometers away. So what'll happen is you'll teleport yourself as far as you can go towards it and be 30 kilometers up in a very thin atmosphere and have a plenty of time to reflect upon your life as you tumble your way back down to Earth. And the last mutation is 73 plus 14 is 87. Isn't that what we just rolled? No, it's not. Is will force, which we already have a character. Do we want to keep the will force for this guy too? Or do we want a different mutation? Will Ford is the character can exert their will to double the effects of any mutation used while this power is in effect. Instead of being used to enhance other powers, it can be used to add one to your die roll when trying to hit an enemy. So, yeah, I have them different intentionally. Yeah, re-roll I think is the more interesting thing. And that's 36 plus 14 is 50, giving us the mental shield. The other character had the mental blast. Why not have a mental shield? This is the other big classic, I think. The character's mental strength is increased by 4 up to a maximum of 21. He automatically senses anyone with a mental mutation within 30 meters, whether or not the mutation is in use. So, so So the character's mental strength is increased by 4. Now, I'm going to say that because it's a shield, it is only for defensive purposes. Okay, and that's another character done. So I've been going for kind of like having two wizards, but different wizards. Yeah, exactly. Uh, Gamma World technological items are like magic items, and um, mutations are kind of like magic powers. Um, some are actually very close to spells in D&D, and since the two games are quite closely related, that's not a big surprise. Um, I still have a few characters to roll up, but I've been going for 2 hours now, so I think I'm going to be calling it, um, unless people really want me to roll another character. But I think it gives everyone a good idea of how you roll up a Gamma World character. I can also maybe try and answer a few questions about the game. Um, but yeah, I think I'm going to keep call it at this point. And I'll probably roll the other characters. I've got 5 left to do at some point this week, or maybe next weekend. Maybe I'll do another stream next weekend if I can find the time, but I'm not sure I can. So thank you everyone for joining me. Uh, yeah, I wish you could be there too, Andy. You'll have to try to make it 1 year. Um, and I have mentioned that I do intend to try to run some Gamma World on the Old Geeks server earlier, so people who can't make it hopefully can maybe enjoy the game there. All right. Thank you everyone again, and we'll see you around.